Hello, everyone, Rand here. Just wanted to make a real quick video as to what happened to us here. So, backstory is we're working on this truck here. This is a 2003 Ford Ranger with a 4.0 liter motor in it. And we're changing the spark plugs on it here. The reason we're changing the spark plugs, motor's been having some issues here lately. And running the codes, it turns out cylinder 3, which is actually on the opposite side, was having the issues there. Cylinder 3 misfire. We pulled the spark plug wire off there, determined right away to what the problem was there. The spark plugs on here are not that old, they're only 4 or 5 years old. And yeah, it turns out there's a lot of rust in there. Over on the other side, you're probably not going to be able to see it. Well, maybe you can. Spark plug right there. Yeah, there's number 3. So yeah, we pulled the wire off that, and it was just packed full of rust. Don't know why it was all rusty. So that definitely explains as to what was going on there. Also pulled the next two off, which I think is 1 and 2, if I remember. It goes 1, 2, 3 here for the cylinders, I think. So pulled those off. These ended up breaking the wires inside of here when we pulled them off. So that did the wires in. That pretty much meant a new wire job for here. And it's like, well, we got the wires off, might as well replace the spark plugs as well, because we definitely need to replace that one, because the top of this one here was no good anymore. Anyway, back to this side. So what we ended up doing, we pulled all the spark plugs out. Working on the very last one here. Number, I don't know if this is number 6, whatever one this one is. One way in the back here. And yeah, this happened. Hopefully it'll focus. Yes, that is the top bit of a spark plug. And there's the bottom bit of a spark plug. It broke off, and you notice of course, the nut portion here is gone. So what we ended up doing, and this seemed to work pretty good. Obviously this was stuck down in here. This is an aluminum block here, by the way, as far as I know. I could be wrong in that, but I'm pretty sure this is aluminum. And we had already broken it free. It was out like maybe a half a turn or so. So it was broken free. Why it suddenly decided to give out like that, I don't know. But we ended up hosing it down with penetrating oil, and I mean hosing it down. And then we took a splined extractor, at least I'm pretty sure that's what they call these. This particular one, actually let me pull it out here so you can see it. Hopefully you can see that. Number 4, splined extractor, 5/16. And that fit almost perfectly down in the spark plug here. So like that. Oh, and I should mention as well, obviously we still have the porcelain portion in here. What we ended up doing is taking a vacuum and vacuuming the porcelain portion out of the spark plug. We just took our vacuum small hose, even a smaller end on it, and it was actually able to suck the remaining porcelain out of here. So just leaving this, at which point we could pound the spline extractor down in it. And it turns out, at least with the spline extractors I have here, a 10 mil socket fits almost perfectly in there. So took a 10 mil socket, and we were able to, again, putting lots of penetrating oil on it. Between when we first put the penetrating oil in the end, there's probably a good half hour, 45 minutes. That was like the first thing we did, was we sprayed it down, let it set, while we figured out how to get the porcelain out. Turned out we were able to just vacuum it out. It came right out, no problems. And then we're able to pound, like I said, a splined extractor. I do have the other extractors as well, typically called easy outs. I don't think those would work quite as well. In fact, I've never been personally impressed with them at all. These spline extractors seem to work a lot better. So pounded that in, turned it out with just a regular socket on it there. Worked great. So for anybody that has that issue, thought I'd explain that and share that. We're looking up through the wheel well here, by the way. If you ever have one of these motors, you can get to the spark plugs on this side, on the top. The other side, though, need to go through the wheel well. Anyway, again, just a quick video there. Wanted to share that with you folks in case you ever have something like that happen. Spline extractors seem like they work pretty good for that. Just vacuum out the porcelain that's in the center there, or chip it out if you have to. Just make sure you vacuum it out, because you definitely don't want that in the motor. And then, yeah, drive a spline extractor into it and pull it out. So comments or questions, be sure to leave them below. And as always, thanks for watching, and until next time.